messages from those who couldn't be here tonight. So first, from Rachel Edwards in Canada. She says, it was a lot longer, this is abridged. I'll send you the full amount. Becky Sue, you are a ray of sunshine, always bringing joy to those around you. Kit is an incredibly lucky man to have you by his side. I wish you both the very best on your journey through life together, with so much love from Rach.
I love that, Rach.
Yay, cheers!
And also from Lauren over in the US, she says, Darling Beck, I am so grateful for you and all the moments we've shared over the years. I can tell Kit knows just how lucky he is to have you, and I'm so glad that you found your person in him. With love from California, from Lauren and Craig.
Our first speech tonight is from the father of the bride, Kevin Gilbert. I share Beck's memories of Kevin picking us up from ballet class on a Saturday morning, being there for every family event and embracing so many activities and adventures with his kids. A family man if there ever was one.
So Betty, just throughout the proceedings of the night, I have been checking in on the Twitter feed. We did start a hashtag, what was it, hashtag the whole kit and Quebecu. And would you believe Kev has Twitter? So, at Big Kev Gilbert, he's been live tweeting tonight's proceedings. And look, they're really, really sweet tweets. So, as he makes his way up, I just thought I'd read a few to share with everyone. Okay, so earlier this evening, at Big Kev, loving my daughter's wedding.
Aww.
At Big Kev, just to clarify, loving my second daughter's wedding. At Big Kev, sorry. Just to make it clear, it's my third daughter's wedding. At Big Kev, no, still not clear, it's the third wedding of my children. 10 minutes later, at Big Kev, no, that's not right either. It's my third and descending age daughter Charles' wedding today, and the third of my 4 daughters to marry, the fourth of my children to get married. She's my second daughter, but third child if we're going in age and gender order, but the fourth if we're going in marriage order. At Big Kev. At Big Kev, Rebecca, it's Rebecca's wedding. I have too many children.
I don't even know what Twitter is. Okay, I put my jacket on because it's a bit cold in here. I just want to look nice. As the girls have said, thanks. I want to thank everyone for coming along today. If you don't know who I am, I'm Kevin, and I'm Rebecca's father. And this is Christopher and Rebecca's wedding. And it's really great to see everyone coming along, all the family and friends coming along to help us celebrate this wedding. There's a couple of special people I want to thank. I think Ness and hang on. Ness and Lewis have come over from Sydney. And we've got James, the best man, still around. They were from Sydney as well. Thanks, James, for coming along. We've got Marnie, who's come in from Darwin, is our photographer, floating around somewhere. And I'm sure I've missed out a lot of people, because there's a lot of people seem to come from interstate and overseas. Well, not from Kangaroo Island. Special thanks to Ian and Tessa, who've come over from overseas, from Kangaroo Island, all the way. It's a great day. It's a really great setting. You've got to be happy with the wedding ceremony. It's just beautiful. And you're a beautiful bride. And Christopher, you stayed up pretty well too. And you were probably as hot as I was as well. That's great. Now, I don't know whether the girls are going to tell you later, but Rebecca and Christopher met some 3 years ago, I think, thereabouts.
Yeah, 3 years and 2 days.
And they really hit it off from the start. They really hit it off from when they first met each other, as I think the celebrant told us today. They share many ideas, interests, aspirations, and they really complement each other as well, in many ways. And they've recently moved into a house together with at Seaford, not far from here. So it's really good from my point of view that they're actually getting married. It's great to go there. Now today, anyone who knows Rebecca knows that she's strong, determined, and an independent woman. But she hasn't always been that way. Hasn't always been that way. When she was a young child, a very young child, she was rather shy, sensitive, and a bit of a wallflower. You can't believe it, can you? I remember going to the Tanunda Kiddies Park once with Rebecca on the merry-go-round, and every time she'd come around to the family group, she would hide her head and try to become invisible as she went around. And she went around about 5 or 6 times, and she's just invisible every time. Yeah, doesn't like that. She loved watching. She loved being involved in the parties. We had lots of parties at our place. But she didn't want to be the centre of attention, even for her own birthday parties, which is surprising. However, it wasn't long before Rebecca gained her confidence and her voice. She was actually helped along by Sarah, who used to organise concerts, and she'd forced little Rebecca to perform in front of a live audience. Exciting. By the time she started school, Rebecca was enjoying the applause and the attention, and she became rather good at performing. She also learned how to raise the volume of her voice to command attention, which I'm sure she uses today as a teacher with her young kids. In her younger years, Rebecca was also quite talented at ballet, and she loved performing and actually completed a number of ballets at the Festival Theatre. The consensus among the family was that she was the best dancer on the stage. Absolutely best dancer on the stage. And I look forward, I hope later you're going to have a bridal waltz so we can see some of your steps. So look forward to some of her steps coming later. Rebecca's always enthusiastic, caring, and great at planning and organising, as most people know. She's always a prime mover and works actively to ensure that all family birthdays, Christmases and special occasions are memorable. There is never a shortage of party hats, birthday candles, labelled drink cups, serviettes, streamers, balloons, banners and of course singing. Rebecca will also bring along what she calls add-ons.
Add-ons. Yes!
An add-on. An add-on. An add-on, this is an add-on to the normal presents. They include things like add-on boxes of chocolates, add-on wine, add-on toys, add-on presents of all kinds. I remember one year when Rebecca gave us each a goat as an add-on present. And you can imagine how excited we were to get a goat as an add-on present. We were even more excited when we found out that the add-on present was looked after by a boy in Africa who Beck was sponsoring through World Vision, I think it was. Rebecca has achieved a great deal in her life so far and has a bachelor's degree in business, a master's degree in teaching. She's travelled extensively overseas. She was an exchange student to Japan when she was 16. She's taught English in Japan for 12 months. And now she's become a teacher, an experienced school teacher, and guiding reception and year ones kids. So it's great to see that Rebecca has found a loving partner in Christopher to move on to the next chapter of her life. Now Christopher, it's not a roast, Christopher's also an academic and he's currently working on doing his PhD. He tutors at university. He's an award-winning photographer, produces videos and podcasts. And in fact, during the recent COVID shutdown, Christopher and Rebecca produced a number of teaching videos that have been lockdown learning. Yeah, excellent. It really was. And they've uploaded it to YouTube, which I think is on the internet somewhere. The other thing about Rebecca and Christopher, they are both great storytellers. They always have most interesting stories for every occasion, and they're able to maintain interest in the listener most of the time as well, which is pretty good. Rebecca's stories tend to be about people, relationships, feelings and opinions, and Christopher's are generally more historical, factual and descriptive. I'm sure that if they work together to combine their stories and transform them into some kind of historical novels, they would match Tolstoy in output and quality. They're really great storytellers. So I look forward to a creative and productive partnership. And Rebecca, I'm really proud of you and what you've managed to achieve. And Christopher, welcome. Congratulations to you both, and I wish you all the best for the future and a happy life together. Now, do you want me to do a toast? Now, if we can raise your glasses, we will toast the bride and groom, Rebecca and Christopher.
Thanks for that, Kevin. I'm not sure I quite believe you don't know what the internet is after all those tweets, but, you know, we'll live with it. So next up, we have the father of the groom, Ian McDonald.
Now we're told that Ian has a PhD in experimental music theatre. Hey Emma, what is that? Help me out.
All right, it's okay. I've got Google. Okay, it's loading. Loading. Still loading. Look, Betty, I think we broke Google. Google doesn't know either. All right. Come on up here.
If you want to know what experimental music theatre is, it is the most useless PhD that you could possibly do. However, I have made use of it once, and that is, well, the person that I was researching became an international treasure from my work. But the day I graduated, I had to go to hospital for a blood test. And this is in Wagga. And I drove around the hospital and around and around and around, couldn't find a park. Friday afternoon, and I suddenly saw doctors only. Yes! And so I parked there, and I've done so many times since. This is a very special occasion. I want to welcome a very beautiful, very talented young lady to our family as well, and the marriage between Christopher and Beck will be something to everyone here will be able to witness over a long period of time. Now, I have observed Becca's work when we made some wicking gardens at Beck's school, and the young kids milled around Rebecca like a school of fish. They were absolutely wonderful, absolutely in awe of this beautiful lady who was their teacher. Now, while we were making the wicking gardens, Nigel, who's here, and Kevin came as to help me build these gardens. So I don't feel that I'm losing a son, but I'm gaining an assistant gardener in Kevin. Christopher is an extraordinary young man. He was a very fine trombone player, jazz trombone player for a lot of years. We did some experimental music for his HSC. that stood a few people on their ear. The examiners didn't know what to make of it. And he also assisted me with my master's degree and my PhD as experimenting in really quite advanced music. He was able to grasp the concepts that we were using very well. I was one of the young fathers that was I looked after Christopher when he was a baby. Tessa went overseas to the United Kingdom for 5 months, and at 3.5 I took Christopher over there, and we went around the world. We ended up at Disneyland, and he made quite an impression with Mickey Mouse when he leapt at Mickey Mouse from about 3-4 meters away, and Mickey Mouse caught him, and I've got some beautiful photographs. That brings me to the photography side of things. I'm really proud that I introduced Christopher to photography, and like all good teachers, their students become much better than they are, and that is what a teacher does. And Christopher, you are a very good quality, brilliant photographer now. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, we should thank Lynn, who was also photographing today. Those photographs will be worth seeing. I don't know how many you took and I took and everyone else took. I reckon it'd be close to 20,000, so we've got some editing to do in the next little while.
Used to it.
No, he has.
No honeymoon.
Christopher has battled all sorts of learning problems, and for someone with severe dyslexia to do a PhD is fantastic. Yeah. I know, because I'm the same. I have dyslexia and same as Christopher. It's a real struggle, but by golly, when you get there, you are really there. I think having known Beck, now I should explain that Beck didn't want to meet Tessa and me for quite a long time. She was a little bit reluctant, but once we did meet, there was, we enjoyed her company, we got to love her very much, and your extraordinary family. And Kevin was right with the parties and things like that. Last Christmas, it was just unbelievable. So, all the best for the future. All the best if you can be in the same position that Tessa and I are now. In 40 years' time, you will be the best people in the world. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ian. It's so lovely to see just how proud the families are of Beck and Kit tonight, which, I mean, of course you are. I mean, as friends and family, we are too. So.
We have to say that.
Oh, yeah. we'll get paid later, but no. But the genuine pride is just so lovely to see, so thank you. So our next speaker tonight is the matron of honour, Beck's sister and best friend, Sarah. Now, we don't have any jokes. We don't have any jokes for Sarah, because Sarah is just a little slice of awesome. So where are you, Sarah? There you go.
Thank you for that, and thank you, Ian, for that lovely speech, and Dad as well. So, good evening, everyone. I do know almost all the faces out there, but for those of you I haven't met, I'm Sarah, Beck's ever so slightly older sister. I've never had that problem before. What a beautiful day we have had. Yes. A testament to all Beck, aka Bootsy, and Kit's hard work and that of many helpers. So thank you to all who've made today so special for our wonderful now husband and wife. And I have to say it's lucky it has been such a magnificent day because I believe Beck has been planning it, albeit in her mind and perhaps a Pinterest page here and there, since she was about 8. No doubt perpetuated by our addiction to Father of the Bride on VHS as kids, an addiction that's also been passed on to my kids, either genetically or environmentally as well. I do recall an instance where Boots had excelled herself at cleaning her room, as she often did, and as a reward, Mum had given in to Beck's endless pleading to take her to view the new bridal boutique that had opened down the road for a look. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a communication breakdown, with 8-year-old Beck thinking she was committing to cleaning so diligently with a reward of actually trying on several dresses, which Mum obviously wasn't able to fulfill. Needless to say, there was a meltdown of epic proportions out the front of the bridal shop. Fast forward to this year, and Beck trying on her actual wedding dress was a beautiful moment we will all remember, and Mum was definitely with us, and as she was today. Bootsy, as a teacher, you commit every day to changing children's lives. You are the person that shows up for them and inspires their future. And I know you work so hard at this, but you're also so naturally just full of love, bubbliness and happiness that undoubtedly resonates in all your students. And for that matter, their parents, with many demanding that their child be placed in your class, even when numbers are at their max. It's also very evident in your circle of friends, most of which I've had the pleasure of knowing for many years and witnessing the closeness and support you give each other. You're at every event, every birthday, wedding, baby shower, engagement, kids party, but you don't just force yourself along. Your feelings of love and joy for those friends and their children are completely genuine, and you receive so much love back from them too. You give so much, and you honestly pour love out into the world. And today we've witnessed you join your love joining that of another, my now brother-in-law, Kit.
Aww.
It took a minute to find you, but Beck finally found a man who will dutifully listen to her commentary on what Audi has for their weekly special. Who fluffs her pillows for her firm 8:36 p.m. bedtime, accepts that she'll speak through a whole movie trying to work out, was that the guy from Downton Abbey? A man who loves her love of Disney movies, ice cream of any type, long drives and lazy beach days. He supports her dreams and massages her feet while listening to them. He treats her like the queen she is, and I thank you for that, Kit, and welcome you to our family, even if it is a slightly louder one than you're used to. We get that a lot around here. And I have to just say, after staying at your place last night, thank God this union has happened, because Beck needs you so much. And we're like, Beck, we need to go to bed. She's like, oh, can you lock the doors? Kit normally does it. Can you put the sheets on the bed? Kit normally does it. Where's my breakfast? Kit normally gets it. And I'm just like, what is happening? Thank God you're getting married today. I already explained it.
I read a text this morning saying, you weren't here to do this and this.
I'm like, I didn't have this, I didn't have my water, I didn't have this. The big one was, where's my breakfast? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I heard the breakfast. I bet.
Cooked.
And the after.
Tried really hard to start
A+ for effort. Right. And Bootsy, Mum loved you so much. You two related on your own level, and I see so much of her in you. In your mannerisms, or times like when you deliberately tap the tip of your can of Coke to stop it fizzing just to annoy me. But mostly how you love unconditionally like she did. Mum would have loved that you'd found a man who is kind and loves you unconditionally too, and would have been so proud of all you've accomplished and how you're living your life true to yourself and embracing all the wonders around you, including copious amounts of winery lunches in your new area, beautiful McLaren Vale and Seaford. Our lives are made up of minutes and moments. Life's tedious but necessary minutes to make us forever appreciate the beauty in the little moments that rise above, lift us and fill us up. And today, Beck and Kit has been that moment for you and for all of us. And like Mum, we don't know how many tomorrows we have, but we can live how she taught us, full of unconditional love and gratitude. And that will make every day rich, no matter how many we have. On this, your beautiful wedding day and start of your journey as husband and wife, I implore you to not sweat the small stuff. Enjoy those special moments, a glance, a smile, a sunset. This is what makes joy. There is no destination in life, just a magnificent journey. You are painting your masterpiece every day, and now you are sharing a canvas. Love each other truly and fully, and I wish you both your happily ever after. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. And on that lovely theme of family and unconditional love, we have a very special message that we'd like to invite Tessa to come up and read.
Just before I read to you what I've received, which is a special surprise for Christopher, I just want to say that PK, who's Christopher's sister, was so incredibly intensely sad today not to be here. And Georgia, Emily's sister, our beloved Georgia, was sad too, and Andrew, and Victoria. But they are here in spirit, and on FaceTime they watched the wedding.
They're over there. They're here now too.
And they're now here. And I have to say that I think this was I used to be a celebrant, and I have to say that I think this was the wedding of the century. So, a little surprise for you, my darling. It's from my sister, Aisha, in England, and she wrote this for me to read. Over the years, David and I met Christopher at intervals, when he was a baby, a small boy, and finally when he had turned into a very splendid adult, with a natural aptitude for dealing with anything technical which baffled my generation. We went together to visit our old family home at Harden Hunish, which the original pronunciation is Harnish, where Tessa and my grandmother was brought up. It was a huge mansion, and they owned the whole village and the church, and you would never believe it when you meet me that I came from that sort of stock. Anyway, he loved it when we went to St. Nicholas Church and investigated its history, where Aunt Pen and I were patrons. He was so kind and thoughtful and gave us a very useful present of a George Foreman. Ian says that everybody will know what a George Foreman is. You all know what a George Foreman is. We met again at Tessa's 70th birthday party in Bali. When the family returned to Australia and the UK, he stayed to see me onto my plane. I think of Christopher with that famous Wordsworth quotation, his little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and of love. I wish Christopher and Beck every happiness and joy as they begin the next step of their life together. From my sister Aisha.
you, Tessa. So next up we have the best man, James Bruce. Now, I'm told Kit and James have been friends since about 1995. They've met up for a weekly Sunday brunch, no matter the distance. I mean, really, it sounds like it was a bromance before bromances were a thing.
Did I tell you that I found him on Twitter too?
Oh, interesting.
At Wagga Wagga Wings, hashtag a smooth landing guaranteed. Come on up, James.
Well, thanks very much for that. I don't know how to... I think the first problem I have is that following everybody else, you've all taken my good lines. But yeah, to introduce myself, I've been friends with Chris since, well, you do the numbers, about 27 years, so it's a big number all of a sudden. But and you know, all the way back to school in Wagga and running around the playground there. Yeah, Chris is the most intelligent, witty, handsome, and sorry, mate, I can't read what you've written. Sorry. What I'd really like to say is thank you to Chris and to Beck, and I feel honoured to be asked to be part of your special day. And, it's been a fantastic day. The only unfortunate thing for me is that I've only witnessed Christopher and Rebecca today, and it's obvious that they just fit together so well. So I think we should all be very pleased. Also, we should be thanking the bridesmaids today. They did an excellent job. They looked stunning.
Thank you.
Olivia, I don't know where Olivia is, but yeah, I think they did an excellent job today. Although I can't offer much in terms of marriage advice, very, very little at all. My future father-in-law told me a few weeks ago that there's one thing that you need to understand, Christopher, and I need a little bit of Rebecca's help for this. But if you could indulge me for a second, place your right hand out in front of me. And then Christopher, if you place your left hand on top of that right hand, and just understand that this is the only time that you're ever going to have the upper hand. Kevin already thanked lots of people who travelled to be here today, and I echo those sentiments. Yeah, it's particularly at the moment it's hard for people to travel, and we've had some people drop out because they haven't been able to, but it's good that everybody who's here has made the effort to be here. I intended to keep this short and sweet, but from St Patrick's Day 2019 to now, it really appears that you've had a whirlwind romance, and yeah, it's really obvious that love has triumphed in this case. So, with that in mind, why not we toast them again to the bride and groom. I was nice and fast for you there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like it, we don't need to ding 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 you.
Thank you, James. Last but certainly not least, we'll hear from Kit on behalf of the happy couple. Emma.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, I've been checking. I don't have any tweets from Kit today. Although, sorry, where'd my phone go? Let me just... Alright. Let me just check. I'll just check again now. Well, come see something. Like, my feed on Twitter is actually being inundated with obviously lots of election night tweets. Gosh, Betty, there are a lot of retweets of that photo of Peter Malinauskas at the pool at North Adelaide.
Daddy
You know the one with the abs? And he's got his daughter in the air, and he's glistening, and he's got the biceps.
I know that one.
The beefcake in chief, I think was the caption. Oh, I'm sorry, that is Kit's Twitter feed. Hopefully the state election is another wedding present for you tonight, Kit. Come on over.
Now, what is a wedding? Well, Webster's dictionary describes a wedding as the process of removing weeds from one's garden.
Well, I have a list. I've learnt to make lists.
You've learned well.
I don't delete them after I make them though. So I'm going to make this a thank you speech because people have done so much for us And so I'm going to start off by just saying I'd like to thank all of the extended Gilbert family, because you've welcomed me and I feel like I've gained a new family, which is very nice. I hope you feel happy gaining my small family as well. I'd like to thank Kevin.
Woo! He's here.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It's wonderful to have a father-in-law who's so thoughtful and kind, and just we can just chat about things, and it's really nice. It's nice to be heard and listened to, if you understand what I mean. That's the same thing, isn't it? Heard and listened to. I'd like to just say that I want to mention PK, Andrew and Georgia, who couldn't be here. I'm extremely sad that they couldn't be here, but they are here in spirit, which is wonderful. They're here on FaceTime over there, which is lovely, and I really hope that PK gets better soon. And
they're all dressed up in the clothes they were going to be wearing.
Yeah, which is just so lovely, so lovely. I actually have a lovely photograph here, which I'll show everybody just so you can see. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's them all dressed up nicely. So, Victoria couldn't be here as well, which I'm really sad that she can't be here, but I hear that she's dressed up as well. And then there are two people who couldn't come as well. I have a dear friend and my mentor who couldn't be here, whose name is Dale Stevens, and he's an officer, he's a captain in the Navy, and he's the head of law at Adelaide Uni. And he had a student walk up to him the other day and say, "I've been diagnosed with COVID today, what do I do?" So he couldn't be here either. Now, I want to give a really special thanks to Georgie B, because she's just done so much in making amazing cakes and biscuits and just astonishingly amazing things. And I feel like I've got to know you really well in this time, talking about how to make cakes and the sizing and all that sort of stuff. I want to thank John and Tom for all their efforts, setting everything up, and all the things that happened behind the scenes that just happened, which is just wonderful. So thank you very much indeed. Of course, I need to thank the bridesmaids, Sarah, George and Liv. You looked absolutely beautiful in your matching my lovely blue, which is so nice. And you looked after Beck so well. And it's just lovely. Brucey, thanks for coming from Sydney. And I'm sorry that your partner couldn't be here, but I really appreciate it. It's a long way to come. And of course, thank you for all the people who came from Sydney and interstate. Emily, thank you so much for stepping in for your mum. I really appreciate that. Then I have to thank the photographers for being here. You've done a wonderful job and I really, really appreciate it. Then I have my dad Ian, who's just made me into a better person, I think, really, when it comes to it. And my mum, who is just such an inspiration to everybody and is so incredibly brave and amazing. And then I finally have one, if I've forgotten anybody, by the way, you are counted. But I have to thank one other person, and that's Beck. Because without her I wouldn't be here right now. And you've made me so incredibly happy, and I'm so happy that we have a life together. It's wonderful. So, thank you all very much. It's been a wonderful day, it really has. So, that's me all done.
Thanks everyone, and congratulations again to Beck and Kit. We thank you so much for the incredible honour and blessing to be part of your wedding day, and we love you guys so much and wish you every happiness.
I reflect what Betty says. On behalf of Beck and Kit, please enjoy the rest of the evening. Now, Beck has asked us to let you know that there are going to be bombonieres located at the table by the gate. Is that right?
Yep.
So please don't forget to take one on the way home. Now, I have to say something about the cake, because the cake will be ready soon for those who want some. I'm sorry you told me and I forgot.
Note that it will be by the exit. That there will,
Cake will be by the exit.
Will be by the exit on the way out.
Okay, it's getting late. Lastly, don't forget to pre-book your taxi or Uber if you haven't already done one. We are wrapping up at 11 o'clock. So Beck and Kit are going to cut the cake now for anyone who would like to come up and take a photo of that. I think that's it from us.
Yeah, and then after that, shortly after the cake cutting, Beck will be throwing the bouquet, and that will open up the dance floor for those.
Enjoy your night, everyone, and congratulations, Beck and Kit.
Get out of my office!